Hello, and welcome to my rather belated movie review of Turning Red. As most of you probably already know, this has been streaming on Disney Plus since early March, but I had mostly ignored it. I largely ignored it because the thumbnail of the movie showed four girls dancing to a boy band, and I can't stand boy bands. I'm more into rock and 60s psychedelia. However, despite that, the premise of the movie intrigued me, of a young girl who turns into a giant red panda. Curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to give it a go. I'm very pleased I had taken the risk because this is one of the best, the funniest, most heartwarming, and frankly, one of the most beautiful movies I have ever seen. This was the feature debut of one Domee Shi, who directed the Oscar-winning short Bao in 2018. Domee is a Chinese-Canadian who lived in Toronto, and the film is largely based on her experiences as a dorky, quirky 13-year-old back in 2002. 13-year-old Maylin Lee is an academically gifted overachiever who, in her own words, likes boys, likes loud music, and likes gyrating, particularly to boy band Four Town. Breaking the fourth wall and addressing the audience personally, she states that she makes her own moves 24/7, 365. Her mother also puts enormous pressure on her daughter because of her unrealistic expectations of her. She is caught between pleasing her mother and being a normal 13-year-old girl. Of course, as with all 13-year-old girls, puberty starts to raise its head with raging hormones and interest in boys, particularly a certain member of Four Town named Robert. In one key scene, while she is doing her homework, she finds herself drawing biceps and muscles on Devon, the clerk of the Daisy Mart. She rolls under the bed and finds herself increasingly flustered as she draws fan art of Devon. Her mother discovers her drawings and immediately jumps to the wrong conclusion, driving hurriedly to the Daisy Mart and confronting Devon at the store. What follows is one of the funniest yet most excruciatingly embarrassing scenes of the whole movie. May is utterly mortified as her mother presents her fan art to Devon, much to the hilarity of her school friends who are also in this convenience store. Later on in the movie, after a vivid nightmare, Mia finds that she has turned into an 8-foot tall red panda. The red panda is an obvious metaphor for puberty, and in this scene particular, a metaphor for periods, which, to the enormous credit of Disney Pixar, tackles the subject head on. Mia turns into a red panda every time she becomes anxious and excited, and can only change back when she remains calm. Later on at school, when embarrassed by her mother's antics once again, she transforms and then runs away before she is spotted, causing confusion and chaos in her wake. Her mother gives chase as May runs home and then finds that her parents knew all along that she was going to transform into a panda. It turned out this was a gift passed down from her ancestor, Sun Yi. This is basically a film about generational trauma, the struggle of a teenager to be an individual against all the pressures and hopes and expectations of her family. After initially hating the panda, through the love of her friends, she learns to accept the panda as part of herself. This film is hilarious and at the same time deeply affecting and very touching. A film with a beautiful ending and a beautiful message. A message that it's okay to be yourself and let out your nerdy, dorky side. If you haven't already, please try and catch this beautiful movie.